Yo, what's going on? You're tuned into the On The Beat podcast. Make sure you follow us on IG at onthebeat.podcast. This is your boy, Supa Mario, and you're tuned in to the On The Beat podcast. Let's go. Yeah, you on the beat, talking on the beat, learning on the beat, watch it on the beat. Get your skills up, won't you listen up? Yeah, you tuned in live, yeah, you on the beat. What's going on? What's going on? This is your boy, Supa Mario. Y'all tuned into the On The Beat podcast show. You know what I'm saying? This is our first recording, first episode. We got a two-part first episode, you know what I'm saying? So y'all hang around for that. The official release will be on next week, April 8th, you know what I'm saying? So y'all stay tuned to that. But I'm doing this first recording for my IG folks, man. So shout out to everybody that's, you know what I'm saying, tuning in on IGTV Live. Oh, excuse me, IG Live, excuse me. So we got two topics for today, man. First off, we're going to, you know what I'm saying, talk about, you know, the producers and everything like that stuck in the house during this pandemic and everything like that. We're going to talk about how you can keep your music production, keep on going and stuff like that. So we're going to focus on topic number one, strategies for finishing your work. And then we're going to have a song break. We're going to play some songs from the artist J.R. Son from New Orleans, Louisiana. And then we're going to go into topic number two, how to avoid burnout as a music producer and stuff like that, you know. So, and then we're going to go into another topic, closing topic. And I got this thing, it's going to be called Super Tips, you know what I'm saying? So we're basically going to talk about compression on your perks. You know what I'm saying? It's basically a common element that we all use in our music production and stuff like that. So we're going to go ahead and fade out the music and get this show started and stuff like that. All righty, cool deal. So a little bit about myself. I am your host at Supa Mario _producer, you know what I'm saying? I've been in this music game for about going on 15 years right now. Not really kind of like a big notable producer or anything like that, but my resume can speak for itself and everything like that. So, you know, I've been around the block, and I worked with quite a few people. But definitely, you know what I'm saying, the knowledge has been there. That's one thing I can vouch for, you know what I'm saying, always putting in work and always, you know what I'm saying, learning something new. I have a degree behind this, audio engineering, also music production as well. Graduated in 2013. So, you know, I had the plaque on the wall and everything like that. So it's a lot of things I can back up. I'm just not on here just to, you know, get likes or anything like that. I'm on here to help, you know what I'm saying, folks that really need information on music production and anything music related. You know what I'm saying? This is what this podcast is made for. You know what I'm saying? I want to give a shout out to, you know what I'm saying, what got me into podcasts, and that is D Dot, you know what I'm saying? Major Music D Dot, you know what I'm saying? Shout out to him. Icebreaker Radio was a old radio station we had back in 2010, and it lasted all the way up to 2015, 2016, you know what I'm saying? And shout out to Chosen. Chosen was the guy that actually originated Icebreaker Radio back in 2010, actually probably a little bit before that and stuff like that. And you know what I'm saying, those two guys brought me on and really introduced me to this internet radio thing. So this whole podcasting thing really hasn't been a new thing that we really been doing. So we've been doing it for a while, and you know what I'm saying, I like the art that we had with the podcast, internet radio at that particular time of, you know what I'm saying, the audio and the audio learning and the music production tips that we was giving out. So I was like, you know what, I need to come out with something like that. So part one of this podcast episode is going to be focused on topics. We got a part two, and we did an interview earlier today with the artist J.R. Son from New Orleans, Louisiana, and also Jack Joe. He's also an artist from New Orleans, Louisiana as well. So that's going to be part two, which is going to drop on Wednesday. So y'all stay tuned to that. For people getting onto the show and you're trying to figure out, you know what I'm saying, how you can submit music, okay, just email me. DM me at Supa Mario _producer. DM the On The Beat podcast IG page, and that's at onthebeat.podcast. Or you can shoot me an email at jcsproductions@gmail.com. We play your music for free. We want, you know, you guys to get that exposure, you know what I'm saying? We're not charging. A lot of people that doing these podcasts, they trying to get this money. Look, this is all free. I'm out here to help people get exposed, and I like what I'm doing. You know what I'm saying? This is a passion for me and stuff like that. So if you got any information, you know any artists that need exposure, you know anybody that need a song played, producers. If you need your beats played, we're going to have a segment on that, and we're going to be playing beats live on the air. Y'all need to submit. Spread the word. people on IG, y'all spread the word, and I appreciate all the support as well. Okay, cool. So we're going to go ahead and get into the first topic. The first topic of hand is that's going to be strategies for finishing your work. I came up with 6, creative strategies for finishing your work. All right, cool deal. So the first one is going to be like, sometimes you find yourself, feeling a little bit overwhelmed, especially during these times, we stuck in the house, can't really go anywhere, like talking about, and you're trying to go through your, hard drive and find old finished work. Hey, you're not alone, because I've been doing the same thing as well, man. A lot of times you want to go through your hard drive and find those old beats and, knock those out. You can ask any producer and you'll know that, you can accumulate a lot of different ideas over time. But when you go through that hard drive, you can find all those old ideas and, start finishing those out, start arranging those out, if it's something that's missing, go ahead and add that particular element and track that bad boy out and let it be ready for mixing or send it off for mixing as well. Okay. The next thing you want to do is, pertaining to, finishing up your unfinished work is, you kind of want to make that a learning experience. Okay. Don't get in the habit of unfinished work. And I need to talk to myself on this one, because I have a big problem with that. Is, finishing 8-bar loops or 16-bar loops and just leaving them as a loop and then coming back to them. And then you go through your hard drive and then you got like 200, 300, beats piled up, and you really, you can't, put that out to the masses or whatnot. So that's what I've been doing on this break, this pandemic break, is going through and getting, the music done and stuff like that. So, that's the first step you want to take, identify the work that is worth being finished. Okay, cool deal. So that was just a good first point right there. Strategies, practical strategies you could do on that particular topic is get organized, clean up your hard drive, find the diamonds in the rough. Not every session that you have is going to be noteworthy. So if it's not noteworthy to keep, get rid of that shit. I got a lot of beats that I kind of like threw away, about 20 beats. They really wasn't worthy enough. I didn't like it, and I wasn't going to waste the time on, getting it done. So I just got rid of it or whatnot, So, you kind of want to go through your demos, go through your sessions, and make sure, you got everything that's noteworthy to keep. Okay. The point is, you want to be able to reflect on, develop ideas and, get those out there to the masses. And, next time when you hit the studio ready to run, and somebody say pull up a beat, you got it right there. You ain't got to worry about sounds pulling up. And again, I'm talking to myself because I'm notorious for that and stuff like that. Okay. Reflections, you want to be able to bounce out your work, create the demos. So, if you got, producers, if you got songs out there and they are, a lot of MIDI, a lot of VST sessions out there or whatnot, go ahead and flatten them out, export those stems out, and have them on deck and ready. That way, when you go to upload them on Airbit, BeatStars, or whatever you use for your distribution platform, you already have the stems there. You already have the WAV file out, and you'll be good on that note right there. You want to continue, doing that because a lot of people out there working on albums, a lot of people out there working on EPs, and a lot of people are starting to go towards the stems for their track sessions and stuff like that. So it's always a good idea, to make sure you get those exports and bounces out there like that. All right, cool deal. Moving on, man. We want to also, on that same topic of working on old stuff, we want to make sure that we get a lot of the arrangement done as well. So don't focus on a lot of the pertinent things or whatnot. Just get the arrangement done and you be good to go. All right, cool deal. So we're gonna keep on moving on. That was basically practical strategy. The next thing is gonna be creative strategy. All right, cool deal. So the first one is going to be like reprogramming your headspace. A lot of times, you have anxiety or, you have some type of a thing that's, around like, man, I got to start this and I got to finish that or whatnot. You got to change your mindset. That's changing your mindset is so crucial to anything that you do. You know what I'm saying? If you can change your mindset, you know what I'm saying, you can get away with a lot of things and knock out a lot of things as well. So, you know what I'm saying, you want to reprogram your mindset, reprogram your headspace. That way, you know what I'm saying, you get started and you finish the process. And then you'll also have a freedom of mind, a free of mind, you know what I'm saying, to create from scratch once you get to that point of, you know what I'm saying, making beats. The second thing is, you know what I'm saying, on the composition of subtraction. So basically, what does that mean? That's basically, you know what I'm saying, finishing up productions or arrangements or sequencing while you're on a, you know what I'm saying, topic of making that beat. So let's say, for instance, you're making beats right now during this time, you know what I'm saying, just go ahead and keep on going and knock it out. You know what I'm saying? Don't sit up there and make that 8-bar, 16-bar loop or whatnot. The issue with making a loop and layering with it, with another instrument, it's cool, but when you translate it out in the arrangement, that takes it to a whole nother level when it comes to, you know what I'm saying, getting your beats, you know what I'm saying, done, like from start to finish. So you want to, you know what I'm saying, subtract that, that doubt, you know what I'm saying, and, you know, just keep creating a loop, you know what I'm saying. Go ahead and just make your arrangement. We're going to keep on moving on and learning self-discipline. You know what I'm saying? That's probably the most important thing in these strategies is learning self-discipline about yourself. It's a hard thing. It's a hard thing for a lot of us. Self-discipline can go into not just what we're talking about with beat arrangements or anything like that, but we can also talk about self-discipline for as what we do in our household, in our personal lives, in our workplace or whatever. You got to have self-discipline to get a lot of things done. Me, myself, I have a lot of tracks I got to mix outside of my beats. You know what I'm saying? I have clients that pay me to mix their songs or whatnot. So it's a lot of self-discipline to like stop what you want to do in order to take care of your client or whatnot. Because at the end of the day, if you're in this business to be in the business, that's what you got to build, self-discipline. A lot of times it's not about, you know what I'm saying, getting the bag. It's important to get the bag, but you also have to get the bag and do good business at the same time. Also, it's not about, you know what I'm saying, just getting the likes or, you know what I'm saying, the fun of it or whatnot, you know what I'm saying, because sometimes your ass can get captured. And what I mean by that is, you know what I'm saying, you over here stunting and you can't really back up a lot of things that you do, you know what I'm saying, that can kind of catch up with you, you know what I'm saying. So you got to have self-discipline to, you know what I'm saying, stay motivated, stay passionate about what it is that you do as well and stuff like that. So that kind of concludes that first topic right there, man. You know what I'm saying, strategies for finishing your work. All right, cool deal. And just to kind of like touch on that a little bit more, I think that's just real good to finish things. You never want to go back and, you know what I'm saying, start something and you're not finished with it. You know what I'm saying? It's just like, it's just bad all the way around and stuff like that, man. So, what we're going to do right now, man, for my IG folks, if you don't know the format, this is the format. I'm giving you guys a heads up on the Beat podcast format. So that was topic one. We're going to go ahead and, we're going to play, one song from J.R. Son, artist from New Orleans. We're going to go ahead and play one of his songs. We're going to take a song break, and then we're going to go back into topic two, how to avoid burnout as a music producer, man. So y'all hang on. You're on the beat with your boy Supa Mario, man. Let's go ahead and play this song, Tears by J.R. Son. Y'all stay tuned to the On The Beat podcast show. This is your boy Supa Mario.
Yeah, it's J.R. Son, man. I'd rather cry. I cry a lot in my sleep. I let the ink cry for me, you did. Yeah. Reminiscing when I ain't have a pot to piss in. Broke their heart right, tears in my composition. Now when I talk, all my motherfucking diamond glistening. These niggas pussy really hate me cause I'm shining different. Reminiscing when I ain't have a pot to piss in. Broke your heart right, tears in my composition. Yeah. Broke your heart right. They told me that I changed once I got some change. These niggas crazy if they wanted me the same. Address change, mind change, I'm in a different lane. Shit, I'm still a hood nigga, I'm just on the better things. It sounds strange, fight my demons selling cocaine. I guess the lifestyle of a hustler hard to maintain. Product of selling dope, I got kids on every coast. Can't see my seeds every day, that shit hurt me the most. One of my problems, guarantee you home and you can cope. You're cracked like an egg when it do the yolk. My big sister boyfriends used to sell a dope. My big sister boyfriends always had the dope. My sister exes turned me to a dealer. My Cause a Josh turned a nigga to a killer. My past mistakes turn me into the realest. I'm looking in the mirror knowing I'm the trillest. Reminiscing when I ain't have a pot to pissin'. Broken heart, writing tears in my composition. Now when I talk, all my motherfucking diamond glistening. These niggas pussy really hate me cause I'm shining different. Reminiscing when I ain't have a pot to pissin'. Broken heart, writing tears in my composition. Yeah. Broken heart, right. Stay with that iron around the glen, they wanna steal us. Lock us up, I guarantee you crackers wanna pill us. Fishing for the money so the people wanna grill us. Gorilla in the streets, banana clips so they don't pill us. 3 house in the cot, yeah, for me that shit familiar. Yeah, we want the mill, that's how them crackers wanna mill us. Throw away the key, that's how them crackers wanna sell us. My bitch got the Mac, and yeah, I'm talking about the sellers. We some kings and queens, but they don't wanna reveal us. Why you think that in this country built by us, the US? Instead we selling drugs at 12 years old with 2 vests and 2 takes. C12 get 2 reps, motivated by 2 checks. Only worried about getting neck and night chase. Flip pack like what's next? Gun down for the big flex. Shit, that storyline be so real. Only hustle for the big wheels, bad hoes and a nice drill. Reminiscing when I ain't have a pot to pissin'. Broken heart, writing tears in my composition. Now when I talk, all my motherfucking diamond glistening. These niggas pussy really hate me cause I'm shining different. Reminiscing when I ain't have a pot to pissin'. Broken heart, writing tears in my composition. Yeah. Broken heart, right. Black man get shot by the cop in front of his mama, hands up, oh Lord, oh Lord. Girl turn trick, only 12 of the pimp, that shit is dead wrong, oh Lord, oh Lord. They throw away a key for a couple of keys, his first of friends brought, oh Lord, oh Lord, oh Lord, oh Lord, oh Lord.
Yeah, that was the boy, JR Son, New Orleans, Louisiana. Song Tears. Y'all can go follow him on Instagram. @_ JR Son, JAYARSON _ JAYARSON. You know what I'm saying? Track playing Tears. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to him, man. Shout out to all the artists, man. Shout out to all the artists that's hurting. Shout out to all the artists that's grinding during this period. You know what I'm saying? Hey, man, we all gonna get through it, man. Y'all, hey, man, just stay positive. Just stay positive. Stay positive. That was the song break right there, man. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to all my artists once again. You know what I'm saying? If you got songs to play, people, I got songs in my hard drive. So people I know and people, the songs that I have mixed, don't worry, your songs will get played. Trust me. But what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna ask your permission. Because I don't want nobody coming back at me, you know what I'm saying? I don't want that clap back, man. So, you know what I'm saying? I will be playing all my people's songs and stuff like that. But, you know what I'm saying? I had to pay the bills, you feel me? All right, cool deal. So we're going to go into our second topic, you know what I'm saying? How to avoid burnout as a music producer. I know a lot of you guys out there, y'all making beats like crazy. I think the first week, I made a lot of beats and I burned myself out that quick. Yes, that quick and stuff like that, man. So, I had to pace myself and come back to the reality, you know what I'm saying? I'm just at home. That's it. You know what I'm saying? I still have to treat it like it was before, you know what I'm saying? We got on all this shelter in place shit and all that other stuff, man. So, let's get into it, man. How to avoid burnout. Okay. So often the times, you know what I'm saying? The work of us producers, you know what I'm saying, consists of, you know what I'm saying, a never ending cycle of creating, composing and recording. There's a lot of nonstop hours that we do for us, you know, trying to get a lot of tasks done. You know what I'm saying? We got to make the beat. We got to mix it down. We got to find an engineer. Once we find an engineer, we got to mix it down. We got to get it mastered. Then we got to put it up on BeatStars. We got to make a beat video for it. We have to distribute it out. We have to, you know what I'm saying, promote it on IG, YouTube, Facebook, and everything else. Like, it's a lot of things we got to do, you know what I'm saying? So in order to maintain that creative, mental, and physical you know what I'm saying, headspace of us and not get too exhausted off of this, we have to, you know what I'm saying, find that proper balance, okay? And when you're pursuing your creative dream, balance is key. It's key and it's crucial. Excuse me. It's key and it's crucial. The simple answer, for, you know what I'm saying, effective time management, has to be, you have to have a well-balanced life. You know what I'm saying? At some point you have to get to a point, you know what I'm saying, in your life where you have to learn how to balance things out. if you have to get a planner, get a planner. I use a planner now. I never used the planner before because I kept it all here. But as I get older and as things get busier in your life and stuff like that, sometimes you just have to balance things out, write it down, set a reminder or something like that. You know what I'm saying? So, you know what I'm saying? You have to do that. And that kind of cultivates, you know what I'm saying, healthier practices for yourself. And it kind of translate into other things that you do, you know what I'm saying, in your normal day life. You know what I'm saying? And, you know what I'm saying? It's sometimes you can, you know, achieve a good mix. You can achieve that beat that you had in your head, you know what I'm saying, 2-3 hours before, you know what I'm saying. It just creates an overall product. You know what I'm saying. If you can create that balance of a healthy mind, body, spirit, and soul, hey, your career is going to go like you want it and stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? A lot of times, you know what I'm saying, artists, entrepreneurs, and producers, you know what I'm saying, we're bombarded a lot of times with a lot of motivational mantras and sleep and relaxation. And sometimes, you know what I'm saying, those mantras that we try to keep for ourselves can be overbearing for us. And so, you know what I'm saying, it could take away a lot of our sleep and relaxation and stuff like that. So getting proper rest is very important. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes you can go and just go all in, you know what I'm saying, all night, get those 2, 3, 4 hours of sleep. But sometimes that'll catch up with you and your body is just shut down. And sometimes you need that body to shut down, but then sometimes just to not avoid that, because that's a very sluggish move. You want to, you know, maintain a well-balanced sleep life as well. So I just wanted to throw those things in there or whatnot. So we're going to get into, you know what I'm saying, the first thing, and that is, you know, schedule your work and don't overload yourself. All right, cool deal. So, like I have days. That's how I kind of do it. I have days. I have I'll set like a Tuesday and Thursday, I'll make beats, and then a Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, you know what I'm saying, I'll mix, you know what I'm saying, other people's songs, or I'll mix my beats or whatnot. And I might switch it up the next week where I'll do Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, I'll make beats and vice versa, do something else, you know what I'm saying? That way you don't do it 5 days out of the week, especially, you know what I'm saying, if you work a full-time job, you know, and you come home and this is, you know, what you do at nighttime, this is a good way to pace yourself as well. That 9-to-5 job can really burn you out, you know what I'm saying, when you're trying to get home. By the time you get home, you're just tired. And your creative juice is not really flowing, you know what I'm saying, because you done burnt all that energy out to the man. I'm just going to keep it like that. You done burn all that energy out to the man. So creating a schedule, you know what I'm saying, is real good for yourself or whatnot. The second thing we want to do is take frequent breaks from music. Sometimes you just gotta just shut everything down, shut out the outside masses of it, and understand, like, look, you got a well-being, you know what I'm saying? Sometimes you just need to take a break from music and let your mental refocus, refuel itself or whatnot, to stay productive. Like, let's say, for instance, you're in a session, it's an all-day session. Hey, man, take those 15-minute breaks. You know what I'm saying? Go 30 minutes, take 15 minutes. You can go 45 minutes, take 15 minutes. But, you know what I'm saying, sometimes if you just go, you know, like, I think at the max, if you go like 2 hours or more and you don't take a break, you know what I'm saying, that just kills a lot of things. So, you know what I'm saying, taking breaks is real crucial. That was one of the first things that they taught us in audio engineering school, is take those 15-minute breaks. Even when you're the tracking engineer or the recording engineer, taking those breaks and resting your ears does wonders and stuff like that. So I recommend you guys do that. On a more longer longevity tip, sometimes take a weekend where you just don't work on any music at all, especially for producers. I think it's more vital for producers more than anything, because we're constantly making music for the masses. I believe that, you know what I'm saying, we have to go ahead and just take those weekends off, take a vacation, spend time with the family, do those things. Take a week off if you have to, you know what I'm saying? And then go hard and go in the paint all 3 weeks out of the month, you know what I'm saying? But take that 1 week off just to kind of, you know what I'm saying, kind of refuel yourself, you know what I'm saying? I like to use the word refuel, you know what I'm saying? Because it gives you more gas to keep going. The benefits of completely stepping away from music creation is that it keeps you coming back for that music. It also refreshing your ears and a better perspective for us, you know what I'm saying, where you're going to go with those ideas. Also, you know what I'm saying, you want to, you want to keep your music professional as well. So you don't never want to get caught up in a situation where things are cheesy or anything like that. And you want to be professional as well. So, you know what I'm saying, that kind of keeps if you have a certain sound, you want to keep that sound the same. And sometimes refueling yourself also helps and helps you keep on going. And also taking a step back will make you look at different things as, hey, you know, I need to take a different approach. Maybe I need to try out some new sounds. Maybe I need to get this piece of equipment. Maybe I need to, you know, network with this producer or network with this artist because of X, Y, and Z, you know what I'm saying? So that's the more things about, you know what I'm saying, taking those breaks right there. Moving on, man, to the next topic, man. Make more time for your family, friends, and loved ones. I'm not even going to harp on this one too much because I think that's what we're doing right now. Despite we're in a coronavirus, COVID-19 pandemic situation, I believe that all folks, all humanity, everyone, you know what I'm saying, is taking, you know what I'm saying, taking more time with their family, friends, and loved ones, regardless if you're doing it virtually on a video call or you're in person or whatnot. I think this is what we needed. This is one of those 100-year type of events. You know what I'm saying? We don't have this too much. I never experienced this since I've been on this earth. You know what I'm saying? So it's kind of good and it's kind of bad. But definitely, you know what I'm saying, you want to take time with them because it takes your mind off of the music aspect of things or whatnot. And when you get back into the normal life, and you'll notice that creative spark is going to be different than it was before. Okay, moving on, man. Regularly engage in non-musical activities. That can come from, you know what I'm saying, being in the gym. That can become, if you have another hobby of painting, you know what I'm saying, you know what I'm saying, getting into a yoga class, anything like that to relieve the stress, playing basketball, video games is one good one. I wouldn't recommend video games. And the reason why, because you're always going to be looking at a screen. So that can be good and it can be bad, video games and whatnot. But, you know, you want to make sure you engage in different non-musical activities. That way, you know what I'm saying, you keep things going. Watching movies, for example, and, you know what I'm saying, that can also stem, you know what I'm saying, different ideas off of, off of movies. You know, you heard something in the soundtrack or you heard something, you saw something in the movie that you can kind of translate in your music. That's what that means. You know what I'm saying? So, again, you know, engaging in non-musical activities will also spark, you know what I'm saying, creativity, but yet still, you know what I'm saying, avoid that burnout as a music producer. You know what I'm saying? Also, exercise, stretching, eating well, and drink lots of water. I'm gonna break this down. Exercise, we already know we need to exercise. Stretching, because you sit down in one spot for about a couple of hours at one time, you need to stretch. You need to move those muscles and stuff like that. I'm starting to feel the effects, you know what I'm saying? Little stomach, you know what I'm saying? So a lot of times I'm not stretching. So all that, you know what I'm saying, food, weight, it's just sitting right here, you know what I'm saying? So stretch it out, exercise and stuff like that. Eat well and drink lots of water, you know what I'm saying? I think those are common sense and stuff like that, you know? So do those things and, you know what I'm saying, that'll help that burnout, and to keep your body regulated and stuff like that. Also take care of your mental health. We all know what that means, right? Keep the bullshit out of your goddamn life. For real. You know what I'm saying? If you got motherfuckers hating on you and shit like that, keep that shit out your life, man. If you got people that's really kind of like not, you know what I'm saying, is not proactive in your career, you know what I'm saying, keep that shit out your life, man, because that can affect your creative purpose. Yes, it can. It can create, it can, you know what I'm saying, it can just do something bad about your creative vibe and stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? I had to deal with that for a few times where, you know what I'm saying, I hung around a negative person all the time. And that shit rubs off on you. Yes, negativity does rub off on you, and it feeds into your creativity vibe. That creative part of your brain, when you hang around with negative people, look, bro, that kind of like, that messes with that other side of that brain, that creative side of that brain. And it's just really not good. It's really not good at all and stuff like that. And so, you know what I'm saying, we all know what that means, you know what I'm saying? Hang around positive people. Hang around with artists that's positive. Hang around with people that translate what it is that you do. You know what I'm saying? Everybody's not the same, but you want to also, you know what I'm saying, take care of your mental health as well and stuff like that. If you deal with forms of PTSD, you know what I'm saying, go get that counseling and stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? If it's difficult at home, take a break, you know, leave the house or whatever. But that's definitely what you want to do Again, you know what I'm saying, for the people that's joining in on IG Live, if you miss anything, we just running through how to avoid burnout as a music producer. So I went over a few topics. I'm going to run through those real quick. Number one, schedule your work. Don't overload yourself. Number two, take frequent breaks from music. Number three, spend more time with the family, friends, and loved ones. Also, number four, engage in non-musical activities. Number five, exercise, stretch, eat well, and drink lots of water. I'm not drinking a lot of water because I'm sipping right now, but hey, I did have my water for the day, so we good on that. And number six, lastly, take care of your mental health, man. Keep all good vibes. Fuck all that negative shit, man. For real, for real. So look, this is what we're going to do, man. We're going to go ahead and we're going to go into our next song break. We'll be playing another song from the artist J.R. Son from New Orleans, Louisiana. This song is called At All. You know what I'm saying? We went over two topics already: strategies for finishing your work and also how to avoid burnout as a music producer. After the song break, we're going to go into the super tips. You know what I'm saying? That's going to be some music production tips for you guys. And we're going to focus on compressing the perks. You know what I'm saying? So, hey, look, y'all stay tuned to the On The Beat podcast show. Appreciate everyone riding out with your boy, Supa Mario. We're going to go ahead and get into this song from J.R. Son from New Orleans, Louisiana. This song is titled At All. Y'all stay tuned to the On The Beat podcast show. Let's go.
Nigga be thinking I was born with a fucking gold spoon. Bitch, I ain't come from nothing. You know what I'm saying? Nigga looking at me thinking about jacking me. Nigga, I probably think about jacking you. I my jury on and everything. Real talk. It's J.R.'s. Cause you don't know my hustle. You don't know my struggle. You ain't never had to hustle at all. I came a long way from hand-me-downs. Now I'm dope boy first, bitches ego down. Cause you don't know my hustle. You don't know my struggle. You ain't never had to hustle at all. I came a long way from hand-me-downs. Now I'm dope boy first, bitches ego down. I spray cologne, I can't pronounce the name. Selling dope, I cop the Hummer, brother cop the range. Fuck it, YOLO, my nigga, ain't nothing but some change. Bitch, I grew up poor, I never had a thing. Now I got thousands of pair of sneakers. Last month, that's 20 bands, that's just off the reefer. Me P enough, he flew to Cali just to get it cheaper. My nigga BB held me down, and that's on Jesus. Play with him or do him wrong, I'ma have to get it on. Shots to your dome. I stay trippin', so you know I'm packing like your blocker. Baka, who kicks it off like soccer? DOA just call up the corners, no need for doctors. Train killer, Mossman the expert, I do it proper. My keys open doors, my nigga don't try to knock them. You saw a fight, I'm bringing the heat. Shit, I'ma rock you. Yeah. Cause you don't know my hustle, you don't know my struggle. You ain't never had to hustle at all. I came a long way from hand-me-downs. Now I'm dope boy first, bitches head go down. Cause what you won't do, nigga, how you won't do it. When you won't do it, we can get straight to it. Cause if it ain't real, it ain't me. Cause if I ain't toting my steel, I might get killed on my streets. Lights off, mask on, keep silent. Play with G, my niggas leave your block quiet. Return them on, so I'ma play high game. I came a long way from hand-me-downs. Cause you don't know my hustle, you don't know my struggle. You ain't never had to hustle at all. I'm who they whisper in the streets about. Took the town and the crowd and flood the streets about. This ain't a fairy tale, nigga, I'm not a rapper. I got the work off the scale and then I rapped it. I'm trying to change like the activists, but I'm paranoid cause I keep getting packages. Broke my heart with it, then my fan when the package hit. I felt bad, but it high stress my mother's shit. These are the brutal consequences of thugging and hustling. My mama told me that she know I'm drug dealing and busting. She said, baby boy, that's a tough pill to swallow. She said her biggest fears, niggas hit me with them hollows. I say, God got me, baby, I'll see you tomorrow. These niggas dying and kept me slipping, they ain't got no morals. It be your family for my family that feeling that sorrow. I got on $1,000 sneakers, I ain't tryna squabble. These niggas do these hoes do like they at the Apollo. These old people, when they see me, they squirting for hours. I tell her, baby girl, calm down and grab you a towel. I tell her, baby girl, calm down and grab you a shower. Cause you don't know my hustle, you don't know my struggle. You ain't never had to hustle at all.
Alrighty, Alrighty. That's the artist J.R. Son from New Orleans, Louisiana. Track title, At All. I'm going to go ahead and cut it short just a little bit, just about 45 seconds short. I'm going to go ahead and cut it, you know what I'm saying? We got about 9 minutes left on the show or whatnot. We're going to get into the super tips real quick, man. The super tips, man, you know what I'm saying? The super tips. And next episode, I'm going to have some music for you guys or whatnot, man. I just couldn't get everything done into the day, but I wanted to knock out everything today. Super tips. All right, y'all ready? Let's go, man. All right, cool deal. So using compression on percussion. A lot of people know and a lot of people don't know. Music producers, I'm talking to you guys, man. So look, man, using comps on your percussion. This is a good starting point, okay? The reason why you want to use this is because a lot of times those percussions come real quick, like just like that. You know what I'm saying? That's a percussion sound. Something like a kick, boom, or a snare, tak. You know what I'm saying? Those have longer decay times or whatnot. So, you know, you get a little bit more sound. But with the percussion sound, they so short, you know what I'm saying? You need to kind of like tame those transients, number one. But also when you compress the percussions, you know what I'm saying, you could bring out more of the sound and still, if you know how to do it right, you can still retain the transients or the dynamics in that percussion sound. Okay, so a good starting point would be a medium fast attack on your compressor. Okay, so that part of that transient that I'm talking about can come through, and it can also be enhanced. It's also enhancing the natural characteristics of that particular percussion sound or instruments. Okay, set the release all the way fast, and as needed, you can give the release a little bit longer release time. So what that means is when you give it a little bit more release time, you're giving that compressor just a little bit more to compress. The shorter the release, the faster the compressor gonna be like, okay, I'm done. The faster the attack, the compressor be ready. You know what I'm saying? So when you compressing real fast, it's like the compressor say, come here. You know what I'm saying? If you got a slow attack time on the compressor, it's be like, okay, man, I'm sluggish, man. I'm on CPT time. You know what I'm saying? So, you know what I'm saying? That's basically, you know, the analogy for compression, attack and release times. Okay. You know what I'm saying? Next time y'all need to try that. You know what I'm saying? Adjusting the attack and release times on your compressor, in order to get, the right dynamic, you know what I'm saying, compression on your percussion sound. So that was it right there. The super tips, you know what I'm saying? That was the super tips, you know what I'm saying? Hey, look, man, look, we're going to go ahead and sign out on the show and everything like that. Hey, man, I appreciate everybody coming in on the IG live stream, you know what I'm saying, checking out the recording and getting a sneak peek of the On The Beat podcast. First episode, I ain't gonna lie to you, kind of got a little butterflies, but you know what I'm saying, everyone that hung out on the IG live, and also for the people that's checking this out on the recording, you know what I'm saying, appreciate y'all. I think my camera just burnt out, but it's all good though. You know what I'm saying, I'm gonna say this video right here for everybody though, man. Appreciate y'all for supporting, you know what I'm saying. I want to give a shout out to, you know what I'm saying, Miss Arlene, Miko Dreams PR. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to her, man. She, you know what I'm saying, hit me up and got me my first interviews for the show. So I appreciate that so much. You know what I'm saying? JR Son from New Orleans was on the show, and we did a nice interview. Also, he brought on Jack Joe. Jack Joe is also a music artist from New Orleans as well. Actually, he's Mia X's son, and stuff like that, you know what I'm saying? So you can follow both of those guys on Instagram. Jack Joe, at Jack Joe Music, okay? JAKKJOMUSIC, at Jack Joe Music. And you can follow JR Son, and his handle is going to be at _JR Son. That's spelled _JAYARSON. Okay, go follow those guys right there, man. So, you know what I'm saying? Shout out to Miss Arlene. Shout out to JR Son. Shout out to Jack Joe. Also, man, I want to give a shout out to our sponsor, Jack's Creative Studios. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to them. Shout out to Richard's Toy Box, ROI. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to them. Those are my two official sponsors for this show, man. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to everybody that was on my IG live as well. Let me check my time right quick. All right, I got 5 minutes to give my shout outs, man. Look, I'm going to run through real quick. Hurt the Jerk, man. Shout out to him, man. Shout out to Bat Life. Shout out to Full Grown. Shout out to my boy Record. Shout out to my cousin. Which cousin that one is? Okay, yeah. Shout out to Miss DD Baby. I call her Lydia, but I call her Miss DD Baby. Shout out to DJ Bama Red. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to Garrick Images. You know what I'm saying? He's a real good photographer, friend of mine. And for the people that's been in and out, you know what I'm saying? Shout out to you guys. Shout out to the people that's downloading or streaming this podcast. Appreciate you so much. Hey, where you can follow this show? Sure. Go to Instagram, follow at onthebeat.podcast. You know what I'm saying? At onthebeat.podcast. You can follow us there. You can follow myself at Supa Mario _producer. And that is SUPAMARIO _producer. You know what I'm saying? You can follow me there. Also, go ahead and follow at Jax Creative Studios. And that is JAX Creative Studios. At Jax Creative Studios. And also follow my boy, Rich's Toy Box ROI at Rich's Toy Box ROI, and that's spelled RICHSTOY. Yeah, Rich's Toy Box RICHSTOYBOX ROI. Rich's Toy Box ROI. You know what I'm saying? Y'all make sure y'all go follow them as well, man. We're gonna go ahead and close this show out, man. You know what I'm saying? Where can you find this show? You can find it on Spreaker.com. All you got to do is type in Jax Creative Studios, or you can type in On The Beat Podcast. You know what I'm saying? That's where you can find this show. Distribution should be out on Google Podcasts and also Apple Podcasts as well. I'm working on Spotify and also getting it on SoundCloud as well. But you know what I'm saying? Hey, man, that's where you can find these podcasts on April 8th on Wednesday. We're going to make sure those shows get on there. And again, appreciate the support and everything like that, man. So, you know what I'm saying? You guys, thank y'all for riding with your boy, Supa Mario. Episode part 2 is going to have an intro for JR Son. So y'all stay tuned to that. This is your boy, Supa Mario, man. We are signing out. I'm going to go ahead and play my theme music, and we're going to be out, man. Thank you very much.
Watch it on the beat, get your skills up, won't you listen up?